welcome you here to All High Stadium here at Bennett High School as we get ready for what should be a very good matchup here this afternoon in a season opening contest between the WNY Health Sciences and Maritime Falcons and the Bennett Tigers. Good afternoon, everybody. Alongside my good friend Tim Rozick, I'm John Karuba. And Tim, this is a good game on tap here for this afternoon. And we'll begin with Bennett. You know, they had a little bit of a disappointing end to last year, but they went 3-2, and they do have a continuity with 19 players returning, 10 on offense and 9 on defense. So that should be very exciting for the Tigers heading into this year.
That's a huge amount of returning starters, and for Coach Steve McDuffie, he's got to be thrilled with his outlook to go into this season after a disappointing end due to the COVID pause. They had to cancel their playoff game against Lancaster last year, and the parents, the coaches, the team as a whole just completely disappointed with that. So I imagine there's going to be a little chip on their shoulder heading into this season, starting with today's game. Their first contest ever against Western New York Maritime Health Sciences.
Yeah, and that's going to be very intriguing. And another storyline in this game is the head coach for the Falcons. His name, Ty Parker. He used to be on that staff for a few seasons before now heading over to Maritime side after being with Bennett for a while.
Yeah, so two teams that are very familiar. We're going to take a quick moment.
And we're back here after that nice rendition of our national anthem, Tim. And as we were saying, so both coaches really respect each other, and there's certainly a lot between these two sidelines. And so that part of it should be very fascinating this afternoon's game, too, is the coaching matchup on the sidelines.
And when you look at this matchup for Western New York Maritime Health Sciences, their season is a difficult start when they have to go against Bennett, Class AA, 2 classes above their class, and being a B school, and then next week going against a very tough Canisius team. So their first 2 weeks are going to be critical for Western New York Maritime, and they're certainly going to be battle-tested come league play.
And another thing that Coach Parker, in speaking with him the other day, he's really appreciative as far as the loyalty and the character. Now, remember, with the Falcons, they do have facilities, but they're not quite as much as a Bennett, but they've still found a way to be successful, and a large part of that is because of the loyalty and character of the parents and the players that have played for him, that have bought into it, that, as he said, have practiced their butts off. So he wants to give a big shout out as far as that goes. He puts a lot of the success that he's been able to have early, Tim, he's put a lot of that on the loyalty and character of the players and parents.
And you know, John, whenever you look at any successful program in football in particular, because you have so many players, it takes a full commitment by every player, and it starts before the high school varsity team begins play. It starts oftentimes at the youth programs. You look at the very successful programs around Western New York, and there's a continuity that begins at a young level, but it's a difficult sport to play and to have focus and attention, and when there's a lot of distractions, be it COVID or just high school distractions in general, to have your players all in, completely focused, that's a huge part. So what you're saying about Coach Parker getting that commitment, that's big, and you could see this is now their 4th season. First year campaign in 2018 started 2-6, 0-5 in league play, but they went 2-2 in their last 4 games of the season. Since that, it's been a world beater for the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences, finishing in 19 at 10-2, 4-0. And then, of course, last year with a shortened COVID season, 6-1, and then 4-0 in league play. And the exciting double overtime win against Iroquois to win their second straight division title at the Class B level.
As we're just about set for football here, Tim Morozek, John Kruba on this sunny Saturday afternoon here from Bennett High School. We thank you for making us a part of it here on WNY Athletics, presented by Howard Hanna.
And really quickly, we're going to go over the officials for today. The referee, Ken Eddings, umpire Tony LaCastro, linesman Edwin Streety, line judge Michael Hamilton, and back judge Brandon Musso. So we've got a full 5 crew here, and it looks like marvelous weather for good action. No excuses for either team when you got these kind of conditions.
So settle in, folks. It's going to be WNY Health Sciences Maritimes kicking it away to the Tigers to get the contest underway. Downfield right to left. And we're just about set. It's a squib kick, a bit of a line drive near side, and they bobble it. The Tigers do, but they recover across the 15, cuts across the 20, gets stood up and taken down there at around the Bennett 21-yard line. And that is how this game begins. That was a bit of a line drive, and it almost was disastrous for the Tigers, Tim.
Yeah, those squib kicks can be difficult to handle. Dominic Howard with a nice job recovering the ball and not turning it over. That was not an easy task for him to start the game.
As we're just underway here, so they officially spot it at the 23-yard line of the Bennett Tigers, moving downfield left to right. This ball on the right hash, and now the clock was moving, so they were just making sure it was correct here. Just underway here from Bennett High School. And now Bennett ready to go. They got a 2-receiver set, wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. 4 on the line for the Health Science Falcons. Handoff up the middle. Nice burst there across 25. Gets up to about the 30. We'll see where they spot it. But a nice run that time. A draw play straight up the gut. Good way to start here for the Tigers.
And Dominic Allen, the senior, getting a big gain to start off. And we know that both these teams have some powerful recruits at the D1 level. And we'll get into those personnel shortly.
As they're going to go out of the I formation this time to the Tigers. 1 receiver either side. Another handoff across the 35. Gets up closer to 40. And that looked to be number 44 for Bennett. And that was Edgar Key, the fullback. He rushes for a nice gain there. Another second and short here, Tim.
And that's a good-looking fullback. He's got size and power. Low center of gravity. It's going to be difficult to bring the big man down today, it looks like.
And it looks like on that effort, they did actually give him a first down. So 2 consecutive firsts on the ground to open up the game for the Tigers. Backs in the I formation again, 2 receivers to the left, and they pitch it far side. There he goes across the 45, gets up to about the 47-yard line before he's finally tripped up in the open field. Second down.
One of those big recruits is Addison Copeland, who's going to Pitt. He took the edge, and the running back just got right around him there. But
that was Dominic Allen.
Keep an eye on Copeland today, who is just one of the biggest recruits and biggest stars for the high school level in Western New York.
On a second down and 3. 3 straight running plays to open up the game for the Tigers, Tim. Not really going to the air yet. We'll see if they keep it that way. But they're having success, so why not? Backs in the eye yet again. 2 receivers to the right. Handoff straight up the gut across midfield. There he goes to the 45 and gets all the way down to the Health Sciences Maritime 41-yard line before he's finally taken down there. A gain of about 19 on the play. First down again for the Tigers, Tim. They're just eating up the yardage on the ground early.
They're getting it done by a multitude of backs. Now that was Torrey Anderson, and it looks like they're going to have a lot of depth here at running back. And we usually are accustomed to Bennett being able to run the ball. They're putting it on display right now.
Backs in the eye yet again. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff up the middle. Fighting his way, churning up to about the 35-yard line of the Falcons before he's finally bottled up and taken down. That was a gang tackle that time, but still a nice gain on first there, Tim.
And, of course, we talked about running backs, and we had Isaiah McDuffie a few years back at Bennett. Congratulations to Isaiah, and his father must be proud. Coach Steve McDuffie's son made the roster of 53 with Green Bay as a inside linebacker. And he had a great career at Boston College as well, and we look forward to watching him in the big league.
With 8:40 to go here, opening quarter, still no score. 2nd and 3, Bennett backs in the eye, one receiver right, two left. And now it's a fake. They get it to the far side. It's complete to the fullback Key across the 30. Sidesteps, gets up to about the 25 before he's finally knocked out of bounds. And that play had a lot of people fooled. A nice fake and then rolled it out to the left side for a nice gain, Tim, and yet another first.
It was good pursuit by Maritime Health Sciences, and right there they were able to get the ball over Copeland's hand. The big reach there by the 6'2", 180 senior. We're going to keep an eye on Copeland, but right now they're making a nice drive and looking to score now.
Yet again, 1st and 10. One receiver either side. Handoff again goes to Key. Not a whole lot there, though, as he tried to go off left tackle. Maybe a pick of about 2 at the most. But that time, Health Sciences Maritime were there to stuff up the holes, Tim.
Yeah, that was Carlito Bragg inside there. Bragg, a big guy up front at number 68. And, you know, this is a drive where first plays of the season for both teams. So you look at Health Sciences, they're going to get their defense situated, but right now having difficulty stopping the run.
On a 2nd down and 9, they go with backs in the eye, one receiver left, one wide right. The snap, and now they fake it, rolling left. Quarterback Davis looking downfield, fires near side. He's got his man at around the 16-yard line. The Falcons completed pass, and he's brought down there immediately. Nice gain there. And another first down. Good completion there, Tim, for a big gain.
Yeah, Maud Bradbury started the game on the ground and now getting it done in the air with a nice catch. And great play there by the quarterback, scrambling out, rolling out, and delivering. Antonio Davis with a nice sophomore season, looking to bank on that and starting out this first drive today in a good way.
They did mark him about a yard shy, so it's actually 3rd down and short. 3rd and about less than a yard. As the back's going to go in the offset eye this time, 2 receivers set left, 1 wide right. The snap and the handoff straight up the middle, and he just plows his way forward. That should be more than enough for a first as he's dragged down and around the Falcons' 13.
Who better to give the ball to than Big Edgar Key? We don't have the dimensions on him, John, but I'm guessing he's a little over 2 and probably under 6 foot, but certainly a tough load to take down.
This has gone almost a 6-minute drive here as Bennett really just doing their job as far as on the ground game to this point. Backs in the eye, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff up the middle, fights his way forward as he continues and gets close to the goal line, down to about the 2 or 3. We'll see where they spotted, but a nice gain straight up the middle. May have scored if he didn't lose his footing at the end, Tim, but still, big opportunity for Bennett, 1st and goal.
Yeah, and that was Jamario Tolliver, the sophomore, adding another dimension to the backfield for the Bennett Tigers.
So we'll see where they spot. Looks like they placed it at about the 4-yard line, but still a big opportunity in close here. Inside 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. No score, but Bennett on the move against the Health Sciences Maritime's Falcons.
John, I think the story of this drive is the amount of hands that have touched the ball in the backfield. And we're going to just take a quick 15-second break here. We'll be right back. You're watching Western New York Athletics presented by Howard Hanna.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Back here at Bennett High School with 6 minutes to go here, opening quarter. No score between the Bennett Tigers and the Health Sciences Maritime's Falcons. Along with Tim Morozic, I'm John Karuba. And really, Bennett, they've had this ball this entire quarter to start this game. And as you mentioned, heading into the break, they've really just done it with the old-fashioned style ground and pound game.
And they have shown the ability to execute a little bit of passing game along the way, but it certainly has been a ground haul for the Bennett Tigers, and they're using several backs to do it. Let's see what they come up with here. I'm assuming we're going to run the ball again, but you never know.
On a 2nd down and 1, Bennett under center, 1 receiver either side. Handoff up the middle, fights his way forward, gets across the goal line, into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bennett Tigers. And those are the first points of this season for Bennett, Tim. And they just did it with the running, and they take the 6-0 lead.
And right there, another back, Darnell Matthews, I believe number 80, with the carry, if I'm not mistaken. So all hands on deck when it comes to the handoffs, and that touchdown is brought to you by Howard Hanna, your number one dealer in real estate in Western New York.
So it is now officially 6-0 Bennett. We're awaiting the PAT try with 5:56 to go in the opening quarter. And they're going to go for 2 here as they got one receiver right, 2 to the left. Hand off up the middle, right at the goal line, fighting for it, and he gets across. It's good. And so the 2-point conversion is successful. It's now 8-0 Bennett here with 5:56 to go opening quarter. Great start to the game for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you got to love the fact that we've been able to see all those players get in the game for Bennett. And for Maritime, they're going to have their work cut out stopping that run. We're going to take another quick break. You're watching live action here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Yeah.
Back here at Bennett High School with 5:56 to go opening quarter. Bennett with an 8-0 lead, taking the opening drive almost 7 minutes and capping it off on a rushing touchdown by Matthews and a 2-point conversion. They lead 8-0.
I don't think you could ask for a better start for Coach Steve McDuffie and his crew to be able to control the clock and basically drive at will and finish the score with a 2-point conversion.
And it's an onside, a bit of a squib down the far side, but it's going to go out of bounds at around the 35-yard line of Western New York Health Science Maritimes, and that's going to be a penalty, drawing a flag there.
And Bennett last year, 3-3, 3-2 in the division. They had 2 losses. Their 2 losses were to Orchard Park and Lancaster, and of course they had to forfeit their playoff game against Lancaster. But you could see this team is laser focused right now.
That indeed they are, and so they're going to make them re-kick, it looks like, here with 5:56 to go. Opening quarter, 8-0 Bennett our score, so we will have a re-kick here for the Tigers. Looked like they were trying to squib it, kind of do the same thing Maritime did to open the game.
And for the Bennett roster, they have 37 players listed on their roster, 7 sophomores, 13 juniors, and 17 seniors.
Onside, far side, Bobbleman. Did the Tigers recover it? It was bobbled at around the 45 of Bennett. Then it hopped backwards to midfield.
Penalty marker has been thrown.
And now another penalty marker comes in. I wonder if it didn't go 10 yards there, Tim.
Yeah, that's the far side from our vantage point, so a little difficult to determine the exact measurements of where that ball landed.
Again, clock stopped here, 5:54 to go, opening quarter, and it's so it looks like we're going to have take 3 on this kickoff here, Tim.
And you know, I know Frank Wolf and Tom Prince in their Western New York preview mentioned special teams in high school football being a major factor, whether it's the kicking game or kickoff returns, so forth. It really is gigantic. Watching the game last night between Jamestown and Orchard Park, Jamestown goes up by 4 with about 2 minutes left. They kick what was, I don't know if it was an intentional onside kick, but they recovered an onside kick and basically squelched any opportunity for Orchard Park to come back and win that game. But huge game for opening season starter for Western New York to see those 2 powerhouses go at it, and they didn't disappoint last night.
No, that's the ultimate definition of Friday Night Lights. Quite a contest, but this one's a good one here too. As again, our score 8-0 Bennett with 5:54 to go opening quarter, and it is the Falcons who take over at the 40-yard line of Bennett. Shotgun snap, fades, pitches it left side, near side. Here he goes across the 40, up to the 35, hurdles a tackler, and is knocked out of bounds close to the 30. A nice gain, but boy, that time for the Falcons displaying their athleticism And a nice gain there, Tim, on just a short pitch to the near side.
Yeah, and that's Jameer Thomas. They're super excited. And I got a chance to speak with one of their assistant coaches, Devin, before the game. They nickname him Wiggles, John, and you could see it right there. He's got hops and wiggles.
And Coach Parker, in speaking with him as well earlier, he said they're going to have a ton of colleges recruiting him, and you just saw why right there on a 2nd down and 1 from the Bennett 31. Out of the shotgun go the Falcons, 2 receivers wide right. The snap, handoff up the middle, but whistles come in, blow the play dead immediately. Looks like this might be a false start.
So after some confusion on those kickoffs, Western New York Maritime Health Sciences with good possession on the field to start their drive inside their own zone or inside the Bennett zone. And they certainly look strong offensively as well outside of the penalty here.
False start being charged against the Falcons.
Although that's a little bit of a blow now for the Falcons. You get that nice chunky yardage on the first, and now you get 5 yards of them back on the false start.
Yeah, mistakes are always key. We mentioned special teams, but teams that can play the cleaner brand of football generally finish up on the top.
On a 2nd and 6, Webster out of the shotgun. He's got a running back off his right side. Man in motion to the far side as well. 3 receivers right. 4 on the line for the Tigers, and now another flag comes in. So it looks like they may have just done it again, and indeed they did. So now they gave all the yards back, and they're back up 2. So now it's going to be a 2nd down and 11 on 2 consecutive false starts. Not ideal there, Tim.
Yeah, surprisingly on their star, Addison Copeland, he flinched a little on the end there, and I credit that to Bennett putting some movement on their defensive positioning, but just needing to get that focus locked in a little better as Western New York Maritime.
2nd down and 11 for the Falcons as they have the ball at the Bennett 41 after the 2 consecutive false starts. They're going to go with Webster out of the gun again. 3 receivers right to the right. Running back off his right shoulder. The snap, Webster. It's a screen pass to the far side, looking for somewhere to go across the 45. Not a whole lot there as he was taken right out of bounds. It was Copeland after a pickup of maybe a couple at most. And now it's going to be a 3rd and long, Tim.
Yeah, a lot of Tiger helmets going to the ball there, and that's led by Dominic Allen, number 4, making the stop. And Bennett really tightening it up on defense after a couple of those Western New York Maritime Health Sciences penalties.
So this is going to bring up a 3rd down, and they're actually going to say he lost yardage on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and a very, very long 14 here. As for the Falcons, they're at the 44-yard line of the Tigers. Going to have to pick up 14 to move the chains. Webster out of the gun, 3 receivers bunched right. Waiting for the snap. Now he gets it. Webster, 3-step drop. Pressure coming down. He goes. He is sacked. And so those penalties, they really derailed the drive. It turns into a 3-and-out. And that's a big answer by the Tigers defense, Tim.
We mentioned Copeland on the other side. We've got the counterpart, Rashad Perry. And Perry, early, you could see the speed and quickness and power that the junior possesses. And certainly he's going to be one to watch at the next level with several Division I offers already on the table for the junior.
So it's going to be a loss of 8 on the play, brings it up to 4th and 22. So for the Falcons, just to sum this up quickly, they had the ball all the way down close to the 30 of the Tigers when the drive began, and now they're going to be punting from their own 44-yard line.
And that Bennett pressure on defense, whether it was showing blitz or faking a blitz, but it was definitely in the minds of Western New York Maritime Health Sciences.
Falcons, nice high kick, right to left down the field. Tigers field it across the 15, up to the 20, turns a corner across the 25, and a nice ankle tackle at around the 28 or 29. If that tackle's not made by the Falcons, that guy for the Tigers, he could have had a big run back there, Tim.
Yeah, David Wright stepping up big time there, and like you said, he was on this team as a freshman, now a senior. They've got a few of these guys, along with Braylon Boyd, Addison Copeland. A lot of these guys have been on the team for years, and David Wright showing his senior leadership with a big tackle, showing it on the field, along with just what he does off the field.
As we're going to keep it right here, 4:18 to go here, opening quarter. 8-0 Bennett is our score. They have the football. First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Again, this game being brought to you by Howard Hanna. For real estate needs, contact Howard Hanna.
So for the Tigers, it looks like they're going to go to the run again. Backs in the I-1 receiver either side of the formation. Handoff up the middle, and it looked like it was Allen, but nowhere to go. He is stuffed right at the line and dragged backwards. He may have even lost a yard or two that time. Good job by the Falcons there defensively.
Yeah, that looked like Damian Littleton there with the stop and really giving full pressure, driving the legs too. That's what I love to see. You know, it goes beyond just making that first contact, but you got to keep those legs driving. Littleton with a nice job doing that.
Tigers break the huddle. You can see they're just going to keep giving a steady diet of runs, Tim, until the Falcons can prove on defense they can consistently stop it. They put a man in motion to the near side, 2 receivers either side of the line, single tight end, lone backfield. The snap, and they give it off far side. He bounces off one tackle but can't get away from another. He is driven behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like it's going to be another loss again. So we mentioned that they have to stop it consistently. Well, give credit to the Falcons because right now they are, Tim, and now this drive is really stalling for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was Dominic Allen on the carry. It looked like he got tripped up a little. He may have had some daylight, but credit to, again, the Falcons D-line and the pressure they're starting to put on and really tightening the reins, having a decent stoppage. We'll see if they can close the show and get the ball back here.
With 2.5 to go, first quarter, 8-0 Bennett the score. There you go from under center. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Snap, 3-step drop, airs it over the head of his intended target, near side, but a flag does come in, so the pass fell incomplete, but we do have a penalty marker on the field. This might be interference. We'll see what the call is.
I didn't see any interference, but I did look like Bennett jumped early, but perhaps there was interference, and we'll have to wait just a moment here to see what the call is.
So obviously if Bennett jumped early, that's going to be a false start.
Marked off against the Falcons.
Okay, so they penalized the Falcons.
Pass interference is the call.
That's a killer penalty.
And it is
right
a
there.
pass interference, so it's going to be a first down here, and that is a killer. You are right. The Falcons did their job. They got him off the field, but because of the penalty marker, just like on offense, now they're looking at another first again.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell, but our PA announcer definitely agreed that there was some interference there. So looks like mental mistakes now kind of creeping in for the Falcons.
Backs in the eye, and now it's a pitch. Allen, there he goes across the 50, into Tigers territory. Nice burst across the 45, and it's finally lunged down and taken at around the 43-yard line of the Falcons. So another big gain on the run that time, Tim. They continue to just pound it.
One thing's for sure, Allen does not waste time hitting the hole. I mean, he is getting off the ball quickly, and that's a real threat for the Bennett Tigers when they've got all kinds of different options with different aspects and versatility in the backfield.
Tigers again, no surprise, going to go in the I formation yet again. 1 receiver to either side of the line, far down for the Falcons. Handoff up the middle, kept going forward, and not a whole lot that time, though. Pick up a 1 or 2 at the most, and this will bring up second down.
And that was on the stop, Littleton, Leon White as well on the stop. And also it looks like Zeke Taylor. So good helmets on the ball there for the Falcons.
As we come inside a minute and a half to go opening quarter, and our score remains 8-0 Tigers on a second down and 10. No gain on the last play. They go with a single receiver wide to the right. And a snap, they hand it off to Keat this time, fighting his way forward. But again, nowhere to go as there were 4 Falcons right there. And so this is going to bring up a 3rd and long. And it looks like number 52, Leon White, got in there again, Tim, to help make the stop.
Yeah, several teammates helping him, Monty Foster among them. And Littleton, of course, again. But a real nice job. But right now, Kia is getting the ball back. And again, Bennett with a long, sustained drive. So let's see how this drive plays out.
As we're inside 40 seconds, maybe the last play of the opening quarter. Right now, Bennett with an 8-0 lead and driving against WNY Health Sciences Maritimes. Backs in the eye, and now another flag comes in. and that's going to be a false start against the Tigers. So we've gotten quite a few of those false start penalties here in the early going, Tim.
Yeah, not many by the Tigers, though, and that was probably one of their first penalties, if not their first penalty of the game, besides the special teams penalties. But so far their execution's been strong. However, this drive, when you think about it, Maritime Health Sciences did a nice job in the first series of the drive, but the penalties killed them. And now they're doing another nice job stopping the run here.
On a 3rd down and 13, Tigers have it. Back to the I-1 receiver right. Davis, the snap. He's going to keep it. Airs it out deep down the near side over the head of the intended target that time. Incomplete. And that's a 4th down. It looked like he was going for number 5, Ahmad Bradbury. Just couldn't connect with him that time, Tim, or that could have been a big play.
Yeah, and credit to the pressure applied by the Falcons there. Western New York Maritime Health Sciences. The D is standing strong here. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good game underway, and we've only got a little bit less than a minute or two to go in the quarter. 6 seconds, I believe. And
6.4.
I want to thank everyone watching, and also thank our sponsor, Howard Hanna, for helping us put together a great broadcast today.
Yes, indeed, with 6.4 left to go in this opening quarter, and Bennett with the 8-0 lead, but on a 4th and 13, a good, resilient answer by the Falcons defense, forcing a Bennett punt. And they will boot it away downfield left to right. And it's a low snap, but he gets it off. High end-over-end kick down the near side. Going to let it bounce it around the 12 or 13, and then it bounces backwards. A hop in the Tigers' favor. And so that's going to be around the 11 or 12. And I believe that's the end of the first quarter as Bennett has the 8-0 lead, and indeed it is. So again, our score after 8-0 Bennett on top of WNY Health Sciences Maritime here on WNY Athletics.
And we're going to take a quick moment at a timeout. We'll be right back shortly. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Back here at All High Stadium on this beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon, and it's 8-0 Bennett. Our score over Western New York Health Sciences Maritime Falcons. Along with Tim Morozic, I'm John Karuba. So the Falcons backed up deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 from their own 11. Shotgun snap. Webster, hand off to the far side, churning his feet. He's grinding, but he's only going to pick up 1 at the most on that play. 2nd down. And that was a pretty entertaining opening quarter there, Tim, especially that opening drive by the Tigers.
Yeah, it sure was. Advantage Bennett by 8. And the defense of Bennett really looks strong. They had a nice series, their first attack against the Falcons, and right now the D-line and the speed and size of the Bennett Tigers on the defensive side looks like a force to be reckoned with. It'll be interesting to see if Western New York Maritime Health Sciences has any kind of answer to get past this difficult D.
As this will be a 2nd down and 8. They give them a pickup of 2. We'll see if the Falcons can sort of correct some of the self-destructive errors they made in the first quarter, as Webster going to go out of the shotgun, running back off his left shoulder. 3 receivers split out right, 1 wide left, and now more movement, but it appears that it may have been the Tigers who moved this time, Tim.
Yeah, that looked like Laquan Bradley, number 13, jumping early.
And indeed, it's an encroachment.
You know, I love the fact that they're playing with a ton of intensity, but the same applies for Bennett, where, you know, that kind of mistake can really kickstart a drive for the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences.
Well, for the Falcons, it kind of evened things out. Their penalties kind of just destructed their last drive. Now maybe it'll help them on this one.
Gives them a little breathing room also with the ball about the 17.
Not much to pick up the first either on a 2nd down and 3. Ball on the right hash. Again, they're going to go out of the shotgun look. 3 receivers right, 1 wide left. Tigers threatening to blitz. The snap, Webster in the pocket, delivers near side. It's complete, but he is hauled around and taken down. He's dragged down just shy of the first down marker. That might be a pickup of about 3 or 4. This will bring up 3rd and short, Tim.
John, if that's not any indication, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail for every single yard they get. I mean, the quarterback was under tremendous pressure. Montrese Webster, who's 6'4", 235, just a sophomore, looked good getting the ball out, but not too much of a gain, and still looking at trying to convert this 3rd down now.
On a 3rd and 1, we come inside 10 minutes to halftime. Our score 8-0 Bennett. It is the Falcons football, though, at their own 20-yard line, 3rd down and 1. Webster going to go from under center this time. They haven't done that a whole lot so far this afternoon.
Look for the QB sneak here.
Indeed, on a 3rd and 1. Instead, they're going to hand it off straight up the middle, and that's going to work out just as well. A pick of about 3 or 4, but easily gets enough for the first to move the chains.
Yeah, that's a nice job right there. Looks like Damian Littleton with the carry.
Handoff going straight ahead. Number 25.
On a 1st down and 10. So, give them credit. That's a 5-yard pickup, and it is the Falcons who have it 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
It's a huge first down for the Falcons. It's their first down that they've earned in this quarter, in this game, and let's see if they can carry the momentum and create a little drive here.
Webster again from under center. No receiver spread out. Loaded backfield. The snap, and they hand it off to the far side. Has some room up across the 25. Still going to about 26 or 27 before he's finally wrapped up, and the ankle tackle is made.
John, it's early, but Damian Littleton really making an impression on both sides of the ball. We've seen his defensive ferocity, and now we're seeing it on the running side where he's churning those legs and really earning every yard he gets against a tough Bennett D.
So they're going to give him a pickup of 4 there, and it's 2nd down with 8.5 to go. First half, one thing, the Falcons have done the shotgun a lot, where the Tigers, Tim, have really just done it a lot on the ground. So contrasting styles. Webster going to again go from under center. As I say that, this is the 3rd time in 4 plays, though. Falcons from under center. Webster, handoff up the middle, and again, not a whole lot there. Tigers doing a nice job just sealing off these gaps from the near side, and only a minimal pickup.
Once again, that's Rashad Perry stepping up big on the D-line and showing the versatility from side to side. You can really have a lot of depth when you can move laterally in addition to horizontally on the defensive line, which he's showing right there.
And head coach McDuffie, he really does like him. He compared him to former UB Bulls great and current Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker Stephen Means.
Man, I remember going to UB and watching Means and Mack on the line and how they would just alter them, different areas of the line. What a defense that was. But, we mentioned the quarterback, a sophomore. So for the Falcons, they have 27 on their roster officially, 11 seniors, 7 juniors, 7 sophomore, and 2 freshmen. So pretty good numbers for a B team, and even Bennett with 37, that's decent numbers. And you'd love to see those numbers as these programs start to build themselves and continue to build traditions.
With 7.5 to go remaining in the first half, Bennett 8-0 lead, but Health Sciences Maritimes has the football at their own 22, and it's going to be a 3rd down and long 12 for them. And now it looks like a timeout was called.
And with 7:21, we're going to take a quick timeout as well. You're watching WNY Athletics, courtesy of Howard Hanna.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offer stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
back here at Bennett High School, All High Stadium, with 7:16 to go here in the first half. 8-0 our score. Bennett scoring on the opening possession of the game. Since then, nothing, as it's been a really good game to this point, Tim. It's been very entertaining as advertised.
It sure is, and I think when teams suit up at All High Stadium, the emotions and the adrenaline become even bigger. It's just a beautiful venue, opened in 1926. Actually played host in the Natural. They used it as the Wrigley Field scenes, so a little bit different back then. They did some renovations in 2007, but certainly state-of-the-art facility, and it was modeled after the old European soccer teams back in the early 1900s, so that's kind of why the look is with the overhang, and seats about 5,000. 4,500 can be protected under this nice overhang.
Tim, not only the football expert, also giving us some soccer here. See, that's why we're glad you tuned in. Shotgun look for Webster. He takes the snap, hands off near side, and he's tripped up and taken down in the backfield. And that play was blown up first by the Tigers, and then he lost his footing. And that drive ended up going nowhere for the Falcons, Tim. Good work defensively by Bennett.
Yeah, that's Laquan Bradley once again stepping in, the big defensive end, getting in there and making things difficult for Western New York Maritime Health Sciences.
So they'll be forced to punt it away again, as that is a loss of a couple on that play. On a 4th and 14. They'll boot it deep downfield left to right. This is going to be a very important defensive possession, though, for the Falcons. They don't want to fall behind even more than they are when they're struggling a little bit offensively.
Yeah, and the amount of time possession, you have to wonder with the weather today, not that it's super hot, but it's warm enough where that time on the field for a defense can really tax them.
As they field it across the 50, Tigers into Maritime territory to 45, and he is wrapped up and finally taken down at around the 42 or 43 of Health Sciences Maritime. So great field position again for the Tigers offensively, Tim.
Yeah, once again, that's a good return there for Ahmad Bradbury, and they have great position on the field, and the way they've been able to move the ball, it's going to be interesting. You know, the first drive, of course, resulted in a touchdown. The last drive, though, the Falcons' defense really stepped up, so let's see if they can muster another big stop here.
What are the odds you think they're going to go, the Tigers, with the I formation again?
I'd say it's pretty good. They've been, why change what's working right now?
As we have 6:17 to go till halftime, 8-0 our score for Bennett over the Falcons. As they line up from under center again, 2 receivers left. The snap, handoff up the middle, has a burst of speed across the 40, and is tripped up, taken down just shy of about the 35-yard line, around 36 or 37. Nice chunky yardage on that first down play, Tim.
Really impressed with Dominic Allen. I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out who you like best in this backfield. They're showing everyone's putting up good numbers today and giving their best effort, but Dominic Allen really impressive so far in this first half.
And the thing is, they're not even trying to disguise it. They're just saying it's hard and heavy running coming right at you, and they're having success on the second down and short. Handoff, straight up the middle, fights his way forward. I believe that was Allen again, up across the 32 or 33, and that should be enough to move the chains there, Tim.
Yeah, and that's going to be a Howard Hanna first down right there for the Bennett Tigers. You're looking at a Bennett Tiger line that's slightly bigger than the Falcons' defensive line, and I think they're starting to have their way a little bit, especially on this drive.
With 5:16 to go here in the opening half, 8-0 Bennett on a first down and 10. And now looks like a flag came in very late, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's too many men on the field.
Right now, the
sideline warning.
Okay, so a sideline warning, but
or there's a flag apparently, so we'll have to.
There was a sideline warning, but a flag did come down unless they picked it up.
It doesn't look like they're moving them back, so it looks like.
So they did pick the flag up, just a warning, but a first down and 10 at the 23-yard line of the Falcons. Tigers football, 1 receiver wide right, backs this time in the offset eye. Man in motion to the right. They pitch it to the near side. There he goes across the 30. Still fighting. Spins off into the defender and taken down at around the 27-yard line that time of the Falcons. Second down.
Yeah, nice tackling right there by Zeke Taylor and David Wright.
Looked like Bradbury got the call on that carry.
Some heavy hitting right there for the Falcons.
Just over the 30-yard line. We're going to spot it at the 28, where it's second down for the Tigers as Bennett now calls.
So they mark it officially at the 28-yard line of Health Sciences and Maritime.
Looks like there's going to be another timeout on the field, and with that, we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The Wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Welcome back here to Bennett High School with 4:20 to go. First half, 8-0. Bennett is our score over Western New York Health Sciences and Maritime Falcons. Along with Tim Rozek, I'm John Karuba. And again, the Tigers to this point, it's been an entertaining game, but you would have to say right now the momentum clearly seems to be on the side of the Tigers as they already have an 8-point lead and they're driving again, Tim.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who called that timeout, but I like the idea if it was the Falcons to give that defense a little bit of a rest. Critical time right now in the drive. Keep that defense fresh if that was indeed called by the Falcons.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers. They have it at the 28-yard line of the Falcons, downfield right to left. Bennett in their classic home orange with the blue helmets. They're going to go from under center. And it looks like a sneak that time. It is. They fight their way forward, and he got close to the marker. And so we'll have to wait and see where they spot it. He got close to the 25. We'll see here, Tim. Going to be close.
Yeah, add Antonio Davis to the legs on the ground. They can certainly run the ball. He knows. We know that he has some extremely sharp passing skills, but also right there showing he can get the yardage when needed.
So they're going to mark him about a half-yard shy. Looks like this is going to bring up a 3rd and very short. 3rd and about 2 with 3:45 to go here in the opening half, and Bennett with an 8-0 lead. Once again, a familiar position, backs in the eye, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Handoff goes straight up the gut, and that's Allen fighting across the 20 like a battering ram, powering down to about the 18 or 19, more than enough to move the sticks. First down, Tigers, and Tim again, it was on the ground.
The big fullback, Jamario Tolliver, so they've got 2 big fullbacks that can run the ball, Edgar Key and Tolliver. They're putting some stuff on tape here, but, you know, if you're scouting this team, you got to face them again. They got a lot of weapons, John, and they're showing the versatility in the backfield, and they really haven't had to pass the ball as much because they're dominating on the run game.
Yeah, they don't need to. Backs in the eye with 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff straight up the gut. There he goes. He's got a burst. He's going to take it to the end zone. Touchdown. And so that's a big score there. And is there a flag on the field? It looks like one did come out. So this one may be coming back here, Tim.
Yep, it looks like it most likely was a holding on the Bennett Tigers. It's definitely coming back.
The early indication is that it is going against the Tigers, which will, of course, negate the touchdown.
Usually that's
and that is a big break there that time for the Falcons because he had a gaping hole. That was a nice run, well-designed play, and instead we don't have a 2-score game right now. That's big for Health Sciences Maritime, Tim.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the in the second quarter, if the Falcons can stop this drive, that's a huge factor, and I believe they will be getting the ball to start the second half, so very important here if they can stop them on this drive.
So the penalty backs them all the way up to the 30-yard line of the Falcons. Tigers break the huddle. Again, they're going to go backs in the eye, 2 receivers left, 1 wide right. The snap, and they hand off up the middle, but a flag comes in. False start.
So now we're seeing a couple mental mistakes by the Bennett Tigers, which they've played very clean football for the most part this game. And right now, not the time to be putting penalties on the ground.
Especially when you were this close to scoring and going up 2 scores. You're absolutely right, Tim. So, again, discipline has been a little bit of an issue for both these teams. We've seen it happen to the Falcons, and we've even seen it a couple times with the Tigers, but that's to be expected when you have a physical battle between 2 good teams such as these.
And it is the first game of the season as well, so some of these mistakes are, you can maybe chalk them up to being the first game of the season. Of course, just a limited amount of practice time this year, and the football season as we knew it in the spring was kind of odd seeing that, so I'm sure this is more of a normal course, but the season was delayed. Normally it starts a week earlier, so
maybe a little bit more rust.
Time. Yeah.
As we have 3:02 to go here, first half, 8-0 our score. Bennett with the lead in the football. First and 25 from the Falcons' 35-yard line. And recapping the scoring, well, there's only been 1 touchdown. It was on the opening drive of the game. Matthews with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to give the Tigers the lead, and that's where we stand. 2 receivers either side, fading back, passes near side, and is hauled in across the near sideline around the 32, and then he's knocked out close to the 30, so he'll pick up about 5 or 6 there. That was a nice catch that time, Tim, and that was by, I believe, number 19, Elston DeJohn. Big play.
DeJohn Elston with a tremendous one-handed grab almost, it looked like, from our vantage point.
So DeJohn Elston with the nice catch, and now another shotgun snap across the middle. He's got his man across 25, close to the 20, but he gets stood up right at the marker, so that spot's going to be close. But now a flag comes out. At around the 21-yard line is where that play was stopped, but now we're going to have to see what the call on the field is. Good high-tempo offense this time, though, by the Tigers. They hit him with a couple quick passes.
Yeah, Dominic Howard receiving the ball as Antonio Davis threading the needle, showing that he can move the ball through the air. But with the penalty, we'll see who this is going to be against here.
It looked like the referee was announcing, I don't know if there were offsetting penalties. It looked like he pointed both ways initially. Well, let's see.
Yep, offsetting penalties, and that's going to negate.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 here, depending on the spot. They're going to go from under center, 1 receiver wide to the right, 2 to the left, single backfield, and a bad snap, and they fall on top of it, but the Falcons say they have it, as that was a botch play, and we'll see who comes up with the recovery.
And the way the lineup is taking place, it looks like Bennett did recover.
So a very lucky break there. That was a very low snap, Tim, and then after that, chaos ensued.
Yeah, there haven't been any turnovers to that point, so turnovers obviously a huge factor when you're only up by 8. And I'd like to thank again Howard Hanna for helping us put together this tremendous broadcast here at All High Stadium.
So this is going to bring up, looks like 3rd or 4th down here. They're going to go under center, 2 receivers right. The snap, 3-step drop, fires in, so far side, Hanna man couldn't complete it as it was just a little too far. He had him open. A nice pass to the far side, just a little too high, Tim, and it caught the wind and it took off.
Yeah, I think Antonio Davis knew he had his man wide open, and he was a little excited to throw that little extra pepper on the pass, and certainly something to keep an eye on, though, as far as them being able to execute and get those wide receivers out deep.
And so that is going to be a turnover on downs. So it was a 4th and short, an aggressive call. And so now the Falcons take over.
That was huge. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. And Falcons with a lot of time here to get their offense going. Let's see if they can do something on their drive and respond and possibly tie this game into halftime.
You can't say the defense hasn't stood up big for them. They just did again right there, keeping it to a 1-score game. On a 1st and 10 for the Falcons, downfield left to right. 1 receiver Split out right to the left, man in motion, and now it's an end around to the near side. Fights off one star, and then he is stood up right across the 25-yard line. That's going to be a minimal pickup of 3 or 4 on that play, but that was a big hit there, Tim.
Yeah, Ahmad Bradbury laying the lumber right there, coming in with a full head of... And that's where football is physical, and that's what we love about it. Certainly Bennett showing that they can be as physical as they need to be, as well as athletic when they've got the talent that they do on defense. I'm going to look to say this is going to be a theme for this defense all year. They're going to really get into a lot of teams' heads with their physicality.
On a 2nd down and 7 to go, Falcons going to line up, couple in the backfield. They got 2 receivers either side of the line, 4 on the line for the Tigers defense. And now they work from the shotgun, the snap. Webster screen pass, short left flat, spins off a defender at the 20, but nowhere to go. He juked off one, but Tim, he couldn't avoid the 3 or 4 others. Tigers that were ready to maul him and take him down. That's a nice defensive play there. Now it's 3rd and long for the Falcons again.
Yeah, and their top recruit, Addison Copeland, the recruit for Pitt, he has had a very quiet first half, and credit to the Bennett Tigers and really keying on him and not giving him any room to run on both those catches that he's had in this first half.
With 1:46 to go, first half, 8-0 our score remains in favor of the home squad Bennett. And it looks like a timeout was called, so we will take a break here on WNY Athletics, presented proudly by Howard Hanna.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Back here at Bennett High School with 1:46 to go here first half. 8-0 our score. Bennett over Health Sciences Maritime. And this is a very close game. It feels a lot more lopsided than it is because Bennett seems to have made more of the plays, and the Falcons just can't get offensive traction going. But it's still just a 1-score game, Tim. They're right in it.
Yeah, there's a great crowd, too, in attendance, and they're getting treated to a great first half. It's been a thriller, and I love these defensive stalemates. You know, both teams showing that they can really put together big stops when they need to. And right now it's Maritime Health Sciences who has a chance to possibly tie this game going into halftime.
And they get the ball to start second half, as you said. Pistol set. One running back off the right shoulder of Webster. The quarterback, 2 receivers either side of the line. 4-3 defense for the Tigers. The snap, fading back, pocket collapsing, takes off and runs far side to the 20, still going up across the 25 before he is shouldered into a taken down. As he dived down, we'll see. That appeared to be a gain of 5 or 6. Sometimes when the pocket is just collapsing like that, Tim, your best move if you're Webster, just take off and run.
Yeah, Montrese Webster making the most out of that broken play, and I like the fact that he didn't hesitate. You know, a lot of times a quarterback can be a little rattled when they see the pressure come up. He stepped up and found daylight and turned what could have been a loss into a nice 4 to 5 yard gain.
Didn't get enough for a first, though, as we come up almost a minute to play in the first half. And it is a 3rd down and 9 for the Falcons. Or it's a 4th down and 9. The marker has it at 3rd, but it is 4th down here. So we'll see. What do you do here, Tim? I know it's pretty deep, 4th and 9, but you have a minute to go in the first half. Do you consider going for it, or do you just punt it away? You're just too deep in your own territory.
You know what? Momentum is a big deal to me, and I think if you try to elect to go for the first down, you're possibly taking away a ton of momentum, especially when you get the ball to start the second half. I would definitely punt the ball in this situation. I think they're going to have no choice now, especially as looks like the ball's being pinned back even further.
Yeah, so on a 4th down, that's a good point. They are going to punt this away. So now the big thing for the Falcons, it's going to be just keep Bennett off the scoreboard in this last minute. Don't let them get a last-minute field goal. Don't let them do anything.
Check that. I think it is still 3rd down, though, John. So we're going to see another play with an opportunity to possibly convert into a first here.
So it is a 3rd down as the Falcons going to go with 2 receivers to the left, 1 wide to the right. And they go out of the shotgun look. Man in motion. The snap, fades back, Webster, pocket, deep down the middle, he's got his man across the 35, 40, midfield, he could go all the way across the 30, still going, cuts it to the near sideline, 20, and he's finally taken down across the Bennett 15, all the way to the 13, and in one play, that's more than they had by far, Tim, in the opening half, and now this momentum is turned.
How about Montrese Webster? You know, he started out, we talked about that broken play where he was able to gain a little yardage and some confidence. The big man doesn't get rattled by that pressure, and he's facing pressure when he makes that pass, delivers an absolute strike, and on the tackle there was number 7, Jaden Lewis. But right there, huge gain and a great opportunity for Health Sciences Maritime to possibly bring this game into a potential tie, or at least only down by a point or two.
Talk about swinging for the fences and coming up with a home run. Not quite the home run, but about a triple, I would say. As you brought soccer into it, I'll bring baseball into it a little. But with 51 and a half seconds to go, 1st and 10 for the Falcons. They have it deep in Bennett territory at around the 12-yard line. 1st down, and what a play as there's a timeout on the field. So we will step aside again here on WNY Athletics, presented by Howard Hanna.
Does he do car?
Forget about it.
How about home?
Forget about it.
Does he get good rates?
Forget about it.
And you're saying there's no problem too big for this guy?
Forget about it. Look, this is Johnny, the guy we've been talking about. Johnny, Paul Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the invite.
Not a problem. It's Paul, not Mr. Wolf.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Johnny, forget about it. For all your insurance needs, call 835-WOLF and...
They fake it, now they get it to the far side, and was he able to haul it in? No, he couldn't. It bobbled and hit the ground, so it'll bring up 2nd down.
Jason Pearsall with a lot of pressure right there on Montrese Webster and forcing him to get that ball out early. Like the pressure by Bennett, but as far as Montrese Webster, you know, somewhat of a quiet first half until this drive, really stepping up big and showing that he's got the mettle to handle this pressure.
On this 2nd down and 10, if you're just tuning in, as Tim mentioned before we hit the break, a huge completion for the Falcons as they took it from their own goal line all the way down to the 13 of the Tigers. They're set up 2nd and 10 at the Bennett 12. Falcons, they're going to set up, clock stop, 42.4 to go first half. Bennett with an 8-point lead. So for the Falcons, shotgun max protect, 2 receivers set to the right, 1 wide left. Webster awaiting the shotgun snap. He fields it, looks, fires in, so far, so picked off! Intercepted! Across the 10 to the 15, up to the 20, and taken out of bounds at the 23 or 24. And for the Falcons, that's an absolute crusher. He tried to just force it into tight coverage. That's a no-no, and the Tigers picked it off, and now they capitalize with it. So in an arm wrestling match, now this goes back the other way for Bennett. What a defensive play.
John, by far the play of the game to this point. Dominic Allen stepping in right in front of the big man, Addison Copeland. And who wants the ball more at that point? Copeland, of course, was just a timing route, so Allen able to read that and react and create the biggest turnover of the game so far. Well, the only turnover to that point as well. But at a critical time when it looked like Maritime Health Sciences was going to score and really bring momentum into the second half, Bennett putting the squash on it for sure.
And you could see Coach Parker over on the Falcons sideline. He's comforting Webster, the quarterback, a little bit. He knows that was a mistake, and he's played really well. He's had a quiet first half, but he did make a big pass earlier. Just made a mistake there, unfortunately.
John, I was going to mention, we know Jameer Thomas. We brought him up at the beginning of the broadcast. He had that solid carry early in the first quarter. He's also had a quiet first half, and he's one of their big names that they're going to look at. They had him out at the receiver slot there, but interesting to see that he hasn't had many touches this game in the backfield, but you got to try to get your big names the ball, and for Montrese Webster right there trying to get his big man Addison Copeland the ball, and that's going to take us back to the half.
Yeah, the Tigers, they're not going to run another play. They decide to just let the clock run down, and they're going to head to the locker room, so that's anticlimactic. I was going to ask you, should they go for it for another drive? Well, they answered it for us. They are not. So the seconds tick off, and we have reached halftime here from Bennett High School, and our score at the end of the first half, Bennett Tigers with an 8-0 lead over Western New York Health Sciences and Maritime Falcons, 8-0. So it will be Maritime who gets the ball in the second half. But for now, stay tuned for the Howard and Hannah halftime show. Again, our score at halftime, 8-0 Bennett with the lead here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis.
Man, it's good to
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The Wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you...
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Chiro First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Chiro First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
We welcome you back here to Bennett High School, All-High Stadium, as we are at halftime 8-0. Bennett with the lead over Western New York Sciences and Maritime, Health Sciences and Maritime, along with Tim Morozek. I'm John Karuba, and that was an entertaining first half. Despite only 8 points, both teams had a big opportunity in that opening half, and so it's very close, 8-0, but it really feels like it'd be a lot more than that, really on either side, because if you look at the Falcons, they had that big drive that got him down close, and then he throws the interception.
Yeah, we're going to see some replays here, courtesy of WNY Athletics, on our new advanced technology, giving you replays this year and also first half highlights. And we'd like to, while we're watching those, thank our crew here that's helping us out today. Tim Wagner on the great camera work, Francis Beck, Frank Wolf, and Tom Prince, and of course John Karuba, my man here, hammering down the play-by-play. It's been a thriller. You could see the fans somewhat subdued in the first half. Up until that interception, John, it really sparked the Bennett crowd. Even at halftime, when the Bennett Tigers were going into the halftime, the crowd was fired up, and expect this intensity to potentially grow should this game continue to be close, especially with Maritime getting the ball at half to start the second half.
And indeed, it's 8-0 our score right now. Bennett with the lead on that opening drive touchdown. And again, offensively, it's really been two different styles. You see on the one side that for Bennett, they just kept grounding and pounding it with the run game. And then on the other side, the success the Falcons have had has come through the air. And right now, the running is winning. But very interesting to see the two different styles, especially when the head coach for the Falcons was on Bennett's sideline for a few years.
Yeah, and you look at the Falcons' offense, it really was one play for the most part that was the bulk of their work in the first half. And it's not to say that they hadn't had moments, but in terms of being able to sustain drives and come up with big plays, that huge pass late in the second quarter was really what it was. And we got to see more out of Copeland in that second half, along with Jameer Thomas, in my opinion. Both those players, they're going to be looking at, having a big bulk of the work for the season, I'm sure. So let's see if they can stand out here more in the second half.
As we're getting set for second half football, and our score remains 8-0 in favor of Bennett.
We can go over some Howard Hanna scores around the league. Yesterday, McKinley takes down Niagara Falls 14-0. Clarence throttles North Tonawanda 63-12. Jamestown with an absolute thriller over OP 38-27. Hamburg takes down Niagara Wheatfield by a score of 36-14. Sweet Home in a thriller over Amherst, 28-21. Grand Island really making their mark, 34-0 against Cheektowaga. Cheektowaga now with a new coach as Mike Fata steps aside as the athletic director. Frontier also with a big win over Will South. West Seneca West 53, South Park 34. That was one a lot of eyes in Western New York were keeping track of. Burgard 22 with the win over East Aurora. Albion with the win over Roy Hart. Wilson with the win over Newport. Medina with the win over Timon. Randolph with the win over JFK. Randolph putting up 47. Allegheny Limestone 20 over Cattaraugus Little Valley, who had 12. And Portville 28, Gowanda Pine Valley 6. That was yesterday's games. A couple big games today, John. St. Mary's and St. Joe's. Depew and Newfane, McQuaid against Canisius, Lancaster Lockport. Lancaster Lockport's the big one in AA right now as of my last reporting. Lancaster was up by, I believe, a score of 20-6, and that was at halftime as well. So Lancaster keeping track, keeping a good momentum going from their 5, and they're looking to repeat and possibly take 6 titles in a row. And we know Bennett, if they have their way, they're going to want that game against Lancaster, knowing that they had them in the playoffs last year. COVID had to cancel that game, and that's a chip on their shoulder. If I'm a player, if I'm a coach, I'm going to use that as motivation. And so far, Bennett standing tall in the first half and keeping a tight score, 8-0. And we've got some tremendous plays that have gone through. We showed you the halftime highlights courtesy of Howard Hanna. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, bringing you the second half action here on WNY Athletics.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
Back here at Bennett High School, second half action coming up for you right here on WNY Athletics. It's John Kruba. It's Tim Rosette. It's you right here from Bennett High School on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And again, our score 8-0 Bennett with the lead over the Falcons. But if you are the head coach, Ty Parker, for the Falcons, what are you telling your team? You had a little bit of a demoralizing finish to the second half after having that huge opportunity. What are you telling your guys coming into the second half?
I think you focus on positives, and the positives are the defense really started to create trouble for the Bennett offense. They were able to make big stops, and they were able to also have a big play offensively, which almost resulted in a touchdown, and even that interception was just a tremendous athletic play there by Dominic Allen. So, they had good momentum going into that final stages of the second quarter, and I think you need to just keep the team upbeat about what they were able to accomplish late in the second quarter.
Now, as far as Bennett's concerned, the Falcons get the ball to start the second half. Still an 8-point game. You probably feel like you should be up more, but you make that big play at the end of the first half. Now, if you're Coach McDuffie, what are you telling your guys?
If I'm Coach Steve McDuffie, I think you also want to focus on what's been done well, and that's the running game. They've been able to really keep blocks and make yardage. However, the last few series they've had haven't been as successful, but they've still held the lead, and they were able to create that huge turnover. And I think what you want to keep pounding out is to play sound football, mistake-free, turnover-free, because those mistakes and those turnovers in a close game like this, they can be critical.
As the second half about set to get rocking and rolling here from Bennett High School, 8-0 Tigers still on top, and it's lived up to the billing. We said it was going to be a good, tight game between these two rivals, and that's what it's lived up to. A lot of physical hits, and really, when you look at some of the big players, really haven't seen a whole lot of them really on both sides. And so you'd certainly look for some of them to bust out in the second half here as well, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Bennett, Rashad Perry's been super strong offensively on the defensively on the line, and offensively, a lot of times you don't notice them because the linemen necessarily don't get the credit they deserve. But somebody's got to be putting those holes together for the running game to go strong, and Perry's certainly leading the way among the good line play by the Bennett Tigers offensively.
As the second half just about set to get going here, Tigers still up with the 8-point edge. They will kick it away to the Falcons. And again, along with Tim Morozak, I'm John Krubel. We thank you for tuning in this afternoon to this great game season opening contest here on WNY Athletics, proudly presented to you by Howard Hanna.
It's going to be a gigantic first series to start the second half for Western New York Health Sciences Maritime, and they have a chance to gain momentum. It's all about momentum at this point, especially as you enter the second half. And if they can create an opportunity to score here, momentum advantage goes to Maritime Health Sciences.
And so it will be the Tigers in their home orange. They will kick it away downfield right to left. Not much wind here, little of it at their back, and they will boot it off to get the second half going. Squib kick right up the middle, fielded right around the 46 or 47 of the Falcons. Good job there to just field that and go down immediately. No fumble, no messiness there. And so now the Falcons are rewarded with great field position to open up the second half, Tim.
Yeah, interesting decision to go with the squib kick to start the second half, but as a result, Maritime Health Sciences, tremendous field position, and a real nice opportunity to put together a couple drives and create a scoring opportunity.
Falcons break the huddle. It'll be interesting to see if Health Sciences Maritime, they ran a lot out of shotgun in the first half, see if they change that, but not on this play. They go with the shotgun max protect. 2 receivers right, 1 wide left. 4-3 defense for the Tigers. Waiting for the snap as the quarterback, Webster. He gets it. Handoff up the middle, fights his way. 1, maybe 2 at the most, but he is wrapped up by a gang of Tigers. Second down and about 8 here.
A guy we haven't mentioned his name for Bennett, John Hicks. He's on the defensive end, and he's bringing the heat. You could just watch him. He's got that leg kick getting in his position, and looks like he's ready to fire off like a firecracker. And he sure is a strong player on that line. We haven't mentioned his name much, but that D-line for Bennett's been solid, and he's among those making an impact today.
On this second down and 11 play from the 47-yard line of the Falcons, they're going to go shotgun max protect, 1 receiver left, 3 wide right, 4 on the line for Bennett defensively. Ball on the right hash of the Falcons' 47-yard line. The snap, 3-step drop. Webster gets rid of it, tipped at the line, and almost intercepted along the near side, but just a little too high. But a great play by the Tigers to get up there, just deflect it away, and this will bring up 3rd and long, Tim, 3rd and 11.
I know Montrese Webster's a big kid, but when you've got about 550 pounds of pressure falling on you, strong man to get up from that. That was an awesome job by Rashad Perry and also 55 Jason Guam. They really brought the heat, man, and to see that kind of size squashed down on the QB, you had to be concerned if you were Coach Ty Parker.
Yeah, not the most comforting feeling having all of that bear down in on you. So a 3rd down and 11 here. Webster again going to go shotgun. He's got a receiver off either side, and he's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 wide right. Webster awaiting the snap. 10:15 to go here, 3rd quarter. Bennett by 8, and now movement along the line, and someone jumped. We'll see. And it's a false start called against the Falcons.
I'd like to see whose number that was on. I don't know if they're calling it on the receiver, number 5, but I was watching the line closely. I didn't see a ton of movement, so I'm going to guess perhaps it was on number 5, Amadi Foster.
So yet again, here another penalty just compounding the problems for the Falcons. They had quite a few in that first half, and now another one makes 3rd and long even longer now, 3rd and 16. Out of the shotgun max protect, Webster. 1 receiver either side, single tight end to the left. The snap, Webster looks, pumps, airs it out near side, and in and out of the hands of the intended target. Foster at around the 45, but a flag is down. We'll see if that's on the defense. We'll have to check this call. If not, it's a 3 and out. If it is, it's a first down. We'll see what the call is here, Tim.
Yeah, Dominic Howard was on the coverage. I don't know whether or not they're going to call him for interference, but it did look like clean coverage for the most part. However, there is a pole that I'm going to use as my excuse for maybe not seeing anything, but otherwise it looked clean to me.
And so it is a penalty, and it is against Bennett. So that's going to be an automatic first down. And so for Health Sciences Maritime, big break, Tim. They were staring at another punt and still down by 8. Instead, they get a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely, and this is a great opportunity for the quarterback to establish confidence once again.
Redeem himself as he's out of the shotgun. Max protect, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Now receiver in motion to the far side. The snap, handoff up the middle, shortening his feet, fights his way down to about the Bennett 40. That'll be a nice pickup of about 4 or 5, a pickup of a handful. Second down.
Yeah, Damian Littleton once again getting those tough yards, and now he's coming back to the huddle a little bit hobbled. So this will be interesting to watch how he sustains himself throughout the rest of this drive.
On a second down play here as clock continues to run. Inside 9 minutes to go, third quarter, and it's 8-0 Bennett.
Littleton noticeably shaken, though, as he's standing on the wing side, right side of the QB.
Falcons going to work out of the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 1 off to the left. They put a man in motion again to the far side. The snap, fades back, Webster, short pass near side, dumps it off for Foster, shakes off 1, but nowhere to go after that, and he is wrapped up and brought down at around the 42 or 43 of the Tigers.
Yeah, that was great coverage right there. Dominic Howard doing another nice job. Howard's been really solid at the corners, along with Jaden Lewis. And the secondary for Bennett, strong. We've talked a lot about their line play, and their secondary and linebackers have equally stood the task today. As a result, holding a bagel down with the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences still yet to find the scoreboard.
Second down and 11 on that last play. So the ball now is placed right hash mark of the Tigers' 42-yard line. Going to go out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 spread out wide right. Webster standing awaiting the snap with 7:42 to go. Third quarter, the snap, Webster, pocket collapsing, looks and the ball came loose, he went down, but they said he was down first by contact, so it's a big-time sack by the Tigers. And once again, the Falcons seeing their drive stall here, Tim. Great pressure on the defensive line part of Bennett.
And that's tough because you got Perry slamming down the center, and the offensive line has to really focus on him. As a result, Laquan Bradley coming in from the edge and making the most of that opportunity with an emphatic sack right there, and huge play.
On a third down, and let's see where they spotted. Third down and 19 with 7 minutes to go. The Falcons, again, a drive is collapsing on them. They can get some momentum going, Tim, but it seems like when they can just bust the door open, they're not able to do it, and then it goes backwards.
Yeah, they have, definitely controlled some clock on this drive, but, they're back to square one. They started the drive at the 50. It's been, about 6-7 minutes into the quarter, and they're back to square one, basically. Now it looks like they may be even moving back a little bit with another penalty.
Yeah. I didn't see a flag initially, but it looks like they did move them back. So a false start appears to be the call.
So it's 6 minutes, 44 seconds ticking into the third.
And it is third down and 24 now. So again, just moving in the wrong direction, Tim.
Yeah, that's a killer when you are trying to build momentum, and that right now not happening.
Ball on the right hash of their own 45-yard line. Falcons shotgun, 2 receivers right. Webster at the snap, gets rid of it quickly, far side, on the run across the 45, into Bennett territory, still going across the 45, but he's going to be taken down a few yards shy, it looks like.
Multiple
the
flags.
First down marker, but we have more flags and roughing the passer.
So you could see that one coming. Bennett a little bit over-aggressive, and, of course, they're going to be protecting the quarterback as they do at all levels.
But he pointed against Health Sciences. Was it intentional grounding or roughing the
Or were they calling it an intentional grounding,
I don't
possibly?
think it could be intentional grounding if the ball was caught.
Yeah,
so I'm going to assume it's roughing the passer.
It sure looked that way.
I think what happened was the referee may have made a different signal, but it does look like they are calling it against Bennett.
Well, one way you can always know, look which way the players are going, and the Falcons are moving in the right direction for them, and for the Tigers, they're moving in the wrong direction. So that is a penalty against Bennett. It is roughing the passer. So this will bring up another set of downs. We'll see if the Falcons can finally take advantage of now this break. This is the second time Bennett has gifted them a penalty when it looked like they were going to be looking at another empty possession. Tim, let's see if they can take advantage this time.
Great possession now. This is their furthest they've had on the field for this drive, being on their 30.
So a first down and 10 from the 30-yard line of the Tigers. Out of the shotgun, Webster. 2 receivers right, 2 split off left. High snap, and he's going to hand it off far side. He is wrapped up, fought forward, and now a flag comes in again. And, boy, this is becoming a real mess here, Tim. Now we're seeing penalties, it seems like, on almost every play.
Yeah, and I think the key for the referees are to try to keep this game under control. That was a holding call. And
against the Falcons.
It looks like, again, this drive has been riddled with penalties on both sides. Not exactly rhythm football right now.
So that is going to be a hold, so it backs them up even further. It's going to be first and very long, though, for Health Sciences Maritimes here, Tim.
Well, and you know, the crowd, we knew starting the second half, the crowd sounded a little more jacked up. These penalties even quieted the crowd somewhat.
On a first down and 20, they got one receiver to the right, dual tight ends, one to the left. Shotgun, waiting for a snap. It's high, but he fields it, waiting in the pocket, rolls near side, pocket collapsing, takes off up the middle, but nowhere to go. He is brought down immediately for a sack at around the 45 of the Tigers, and this is going to bring up third, and again, very long here, Tim.
And Rashad Perry standing out again, continuing on a great campaign he had last year. He looks like he's breathing a little heavy, and that, you know, of course, he's got that credit to him because playing both ways, weather a little warm, you know, not exactly first week practice weather. That was a killer for a lot of teams with the temperatures getting into the 90s for the first week of practice, but certainly hot out there, especially when you're going both ways.
On a second down and 24, coming up here, Falcons break the huddle. They're going to go with 2 receivers right, 1 wide left. Shotgun match protect. The snap fades back, but whistle comes in. And do we have another flag here?
That might have been encroachment on Laquan Bradbury. Oh, no, false start.
Another one. Boy, they are continuing to just shoot themselves in the foot here a little bit.
You know, we've covered games through Western New York Athletics for the last few years. This is one of the longest drives sustained by penalties for both sides. It's really...
It's taken up almost the entire quarter.
Yeah.
We're down to inside 4:18 left.
It's hard to say who's got the advantage with this kind of drive. I guess you could say Maritime Health Sciences because they're keeping their offense on the field, but it's like deja vu. They're back at the 50.
But for Bennett, you could say it's for them because they keep the lead as the time keeps going. And now we get another whistle, but I think this is just a timeout here, Tim. I don't think we have another flag.
And this timeout going to be brought to you by Howard Hanna.
So
we're watching live action on WNY Athletics. We'll be right back.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Back here at Bennett High School as we have 4:01 to go, third quarter, and our score remains 8-0 in favor of Bennett over the Health Science and Maritime Falcons, along with John Crew. That's Tim Morozak. And so our score again, 8-0 Bennett. Very close game, but this drive continues to be sustained by penalties. Tim, as you said, we got to be almost close to setting some type of world record for penalties in one drive.
Yeah, I feel like Groundhog Day. The ball's again at the 50-yard line with the drive going to continue after this timeout. But one thing's for sure, John, this is the first meeting between these two teams, and I can almost guarantee it's not the last. This is the two powerhouse program. These are the two powerhouse programs in Buffalo, and they're showing why today. And it doesn't necessarily need to be scoring, but defensively, both teams looking strong, and they do need to both clean up the penalties right now.
And one thing we want to mention as far as the Falcons go, their starting quarterback Webster is on the bench, so he is not in the game right now. And the shotgun snap is high. It's loose, and I think the Tigers got there first, and they're going to recover. A big turnover. The snap was high. The Falcons weren't ready for it, and the Tigers pounced. And now they take over 1st and 10 at around the 35-yard line of the Falcons. Well, that's how you put the end of the longest drive by penalties, but not the way you want to do it if you're the Falcons.
Yeah, John, just as you mentioned that the quarterback was out and there was a replacement in, you can see that did play a factor with the snap on a shorter quarterback going over his head. Right now on the sidelines, Montrese Webster with the helmet off and definitely looking in pain, kind of hunched over with the trainer looking at him. Be hard to say if he'll be in the game again, but without him in the quarterback position, not very good chance right now, I would say, for Western New York Maritime Health Sciences.
Out of the eye, they hand off right up the middle to the Tigers, but nowhere to go. He is hauled down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of about 2 on that play. Good time there by the defense, though. Just a good run blitz, and they're able to stop him on that first play.
Yeah, just a quick update again on Montrese Webster hobbling significantly, and it'll be interesting. It's hard to say if he'll be back on the field. He does have the bag of ice nearby. Hopefully, though, for the young man, he can make it back onto the gridiron today.
And despite the fact that he struggled, we saw some of the ability that Webster had. A couple nice runs. He made that one big, terrific throw under pressure that set the Falcons up late in the first half. So hopefully he's back in the game soon for the Falcons' sake.
And John, only a sophomore, looking real strong to be only a sophomore again in this kind of competition.
And nowhere to go on this draw up the middle, and the Falcons' defense right there to stuff them. It's like they know it's coming, and you know what? The way that Bennett has been running the ball, the Falcons have thought that, and now they do know, as a Tiger player was a little bit slow to get up, and that was number 4, Dominic Allen, but it looks like he's okay as he's back up on his feet.
Leon White and Carlito Bragg bringing the heat there and putting their mark on this game as well. It's been a defensive struggle, and both these teams really showing that they can hold their own on the defensive side of the ball.
On a 3rd down and 15 here. We talk about the Falcons, all their missed opportunities. The Tigers, I should say, had a golden chance. They had it about the 35 after that turn. They've done nothing but go backwards as well on this drive. You got to give a lot of credit to the Health Sciences Maritime's defense, Tim.
Yeah, and that offense was held in check basically on the bench for the first 10 minutes roughly of the 3rd quarter.
And we have another penalty here against the Tigers. So this is going to back them up.
Sure has not been the smoothest of play in the 3rd quarter, and the struggle
No, it has
continues.
not. We've seen more throws of the penalty flag as they're going to go under center. And now they roll right, faking, airs it out far side, got him, in and out of his hands at around the 12-yard line of the Falcons. That was a well-executed play, rolled to the right foot and just off the fingertips. That's got to hurt for the Tigers. That was a big play potentially, and instead it goes incomplete.
Yeah, Dominic Howard could not hold that down, but John, what you see out of Antonio Davis rolling out, the arm strength, the accuracy, that's a great sign to see if you're the Bennett Tigers. And we know that they've been able to dominate this game on the ground, but he's showing the ability to have that threat in the air. So Western New York teams, especially AA, watch out. This Bennett team offensively shows multiple weapons.
And so now for the Tigers, That would have been a heck of a play. If he was able to reel that in with the coverage, with the spiral, the throw, he would have been one of the plays of the year, even early on.
Stadium would have erupted, no doubt.
And now the Tigers will punt it away. Big stop by the defense as they kick it high end over end. Down the near side of the field, it lands at around the 25. Bobbled at the 20. 15 goes backwards to about the 13, but the Falcons jump on it. That was a live football then, but it is the Falcons who jump on it. They'll have it back at their own 13-yard line. But a big defensive stand there. You got to give credit to the Falcons defense. They're keeping them in it.
No question. Now, Zeke Taylor should be returning at the helm for quarterback with Montrese Webster on the bench. And, I mentioned before that last drive it's going to be difficult to win without their main quarterback. But Zeke Taylor, a tremendous athlete, senior, he's definitely going to be able to stand in the pocket, hopefully be able to get around this tough defense. But the key will be those shotguns, getting the snap to a shorter guy. We know Webster stands at 6'4", and I don't think Zeke Taylor is quite that. Oh, he definitely isn't that tall. So that last turnover was a result of a high snap. That's going to be something to keep an eye on here.
So for the Falcons, with a minute 56 to go here, third quarter, 8-0 remains our score for Bennett. But if you're the Falcons, your starting quarterback's hurt. You've missed out some opportunities. They got to be feeling pretty fortunate to only be down by 8, one-possession game, Tim.
Absolutely.
As it'll be a first down and 10. They do spot it at the Falcons' 13-yard line. Ball placed center of the field, backs in the eye. No receiver set. It's a handoff up the middle. He'll fight his way forward for about 1 or 2, and it'll be second and about 9 here.
And if they're going to have to run him directly behind center, I'd say that's advantage Bennett with the tough defensive line being able to get off that ball quickly and not give the time they need. That's the beauty of the shotgun, is it does give your quarterback a little extra time. So it'll be interesting to see how they elect to format their offense right now.
So no gain on the play, second and 10. Ball remains spotted at the Falcons' 13-yard line. Again, loaded up in the backfield. Taylor under center, no receiver set. The snap, and they give it off up the near sideline. Tried to turn the corner, nowhere to go, and he is walloped by about 3 or 4 orange jerseys, and this is going to bring up a third and very long. Once again, this Falcons just trying to mix up the game plan, but right now going to the running is not working, Tim.
Yeah, the Bennett D is just standing tall right now, and we know that both defenses have played extremely strong, but Bennett, of course, pitching a shutout, and you can see why. They're extremely solid defensively. They don't make many mistakes either. You don't see them out of position much. That one big play in the second quarter with the pass was the only noticeable error really all game for the Tigers.
As we're inside a half minute to go, quarter number 3, Bennett with an 8-0 lead over Health Sciences and Maritime Falcons. So for the Falcons, they're going to go third down and 11 from their own 12-yard line. This time with a shotgun look, 4 receivers right, 1 left. The shotgun snap. In the pocket, rolling left, he's in trouble, gets off a couple defenders, has room to the 10, 15, up to about the 20, and he is rocked out of bounds. But we'll see where they spot it, but I think he's got more than enough to move the chains, and that would be big on that scramble right there, because Bennett had everything but the kitchen sink coming right in Taylor's direction, Tim.
Yeah, it started with Rashad Perry barreling down in his face, and the elusive Zeke Taylor able to really find something out of nothing because the pressure was brought, but he responded well, and that's a good sign to see. They were able to execute a play out of the shotgun, albeit a broken play, but that's a nice option if he can possibly scramble a little bit in that shotgun and open up the offense a little more for Maritime.
And they said that he went out of bounds a little bit before the marker, so he was just shy, so a couple of yards didn't count. It's going to be fourth down and a short 2. Now again the question, Tim, with only a few seconds remaining in the third, do you potentially go for it?
Well, if this is the Howard Hanna call of the game, I would say you punt the ball because it's still an 8-0 game. You're 1 score away. Do not want to give Bennett the opportunity to have that kind of field position.
4th and 2, and so it looks like they're going to listen to you, Tim, so they're going to punt it away and helm the field left to right. Now maybe potentially they run a fake, as we're only a couple of seconds away from being at the end of the third quarter, and it remains 8-0 our score. Bennett with the lead. Down the field left to right, and he punts it in the air. A bit of a line drive to the near side, but they field it. Tigers across the 50, far side, 45, 40, got room, still on his feet at the 20, 15, he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Tigers! So that's something when we were talking we didn't take into account. He takes the punt, and he just takes it all the way for a touchdown right at the end of the third quarter. That might be a Howard Hanna play of the game, Tim.
Absolutely. Ahmad Bradbury showing the Jets, and I have to say, I don't know the numbers, but there were some amazing blocks by the Bennett Tigers on that punt return that created a lot of room for Bradbury getting to the pay dirt. Just a tremendous play for Bennett in what was more or less a lackluster third quarter. They capitalize it and bring it down to 14-0 now. Bring it up to 14-0.
And now another concern for the Falcons. It looks like Copeland needed to be helped off the field. He was limping over on the sideline. He needed to be helped by one of the coaches. And after losing your quarterback, Copeland's certainly not somebody you want to lose also.
Yeah. And you know, you look at the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences, this game ultimately important. However, you know, their schedule is not going to be easy the next couple weeks.
That was Braden Boyd who got hurt. It looked like it was number one Copeland for a second, but it was Boyd that needs help. Now, he is still on the sideline, but he did need help off. Again, another concern for the Falcons.
We don't know the exact status of quarterback Montrese Webster, but one thing's for certain, it doesn't look like he's going to be coming back in this game.
And now they're going to go for two to the Tigers up the gut, and he gets across the line on the second effort. It is good. So 2 for 2 on the 2-point conversions, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Our score, it's the Bennett Tigers 16 and the Health Sciences Maritime Falcons nothing after 3. You are watching WNY Athletics, proudly presented as always by Howard Hanna.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Back here at Bennett High School as we get set for the fourth and final quarter of action, and it's Bennett who just scored moments ago right at the end of the third on that big punt return for the touchdown. They lead at 16-0 over the Health Sciences Maritime Falcons, and what a crusher to end that third for the Falcons, but what a lift for the Tigers too, Tim.
Yeah, and what was a penalty-riddled third quarter, Bennett finds a way to put a little final touch on it, bringing the score to 16-0, and certainly making a mark for their march to victory today. And this has been a very tight game. That turnover, or that play off the special teams, we talked about special teams being big. That was a huge play for the punt return on Bennett.
As that kickoff was squibbed and handled cleanly at about the Falcons' 47-yard line, they fell on it from the far side. Well, that's something that Bennett has done pretty much all game. They seem to like to do that squib kick on the kickoffs, Tim.
Yeah, and I guess, if it's something that's going to work, we'll see how that goes through the season. But it's interesting you mentioned that because it's been a common theme, even starting the game with the kickoff like that, or the second half, I should say. But they seem to definitely prefer the squib kick right now.
As we start the fourth quarter here, and it's 16-0 Bennett, but the Falcons, they're still in this. This is only a 2-possession game. Yes, you need the 2-point conversions, but the Falcons, they just got to get some momentum rolling. It seems like every time they do, they make a mistake, but they are still in this.
And again, the quarterback of choice right now is Zeke Taylor, the 12th grader, who normally lines up at wide receiver.
Still no update on Webster. Out of the shotgun, one receiver left, two to the right. That's another bad snap over his head. Race for it, far side, and let's see who recovered it. I think it's the Tigers, and it is. So the Tigers, once again, on a bad snap, recover the fumble, and they have it. We'll see where they spot it, close to about the 30 or 35 of the Falcons, but that's the second time that's happened now in the second half, Tim, and that could really prove to be costly.
Yeah, Zeke Taylor definitely upset with his teammates there, or the communication on that. The difficulty is that, there's a big change when you go from a guy that's 6'4", getting that snap on the shotgun, to Zeke Taylor, who's definitely not as tall, and that you kind of knew it was going to be a difficult transition for Western New York Maritime, but in a game where there haven't been many turnovers, those are two key turnovers by Maritime Health Sciences in the third quarter, and now here.
The Tigers have a chance to deliver a knockout blow. Split eye, fake, airs it far side and over the head of the receiver, incomplete. There was a collision downfield. It looks like the Tigers were looking for a flag, but I don't think they got one. And so it's going to be second down. They aired it out deep, far side of the pass, just a little too far.
And that was a great hit. I want to say it was number 25 again, Damian Littleton, on the quarterback, bringing the pressure and really disrupting that pass.
On a second down and 10, we'll see if the Falcons defense can come up big again. By the way, they officially spotted it at the 36-yard line of the Falcons, ball on the left hash.
Check that. That was Nywan Littleton on that tackle there.
Backs in the I formation, man in motion. One receiver either side of the line. It's a snap and the handoff up the middle, fighting their way forward, picks up 3, maybe 4, down close to the 30, and this will bring up 30, about a manageable 5 or so here, Tim.
John, it's interesting. Health Sciences Maritime made the adjustment, holding down the running game for Bennett. After that first drive of the first quarter, you figured Bennett's going to just run all over them, possibly with all the different backs that they use. But Maritime Health Science is doing a really nice job adjusting and holding that running game at bay for the most part since the first drive.
On this third down and 6 here from the 32-yard line of the Falcons. I formation, the snap, rolling left, Davis looking downfield, pressure coming, fires far side, incomplete, no one was there, but a flag is down, and this will be a fourth down, but we'll check the call.
Yeah, they called holding against Bennett, so it'll be interesting if they just elect to forego the penalty.
Because you'd be looking at a pretty long field goal from here, so I'm not sure they would try that from this distance. However, if you think that they might, now maybe you accept the penalty.
And the kicker, we don't know quite how strong the Bennett kicker is, but we know that the kickoffs, they've elected to do squib kicks, so that could
not only that, they've gone for 2 points on both the extra points, so that's a good point as well. So big break there, and so I think they declined the penalty, and so Bennett's going to punt it away. That was a big defensive stop.
Yeah, and with just a little bit.
Wait, no, now they changed the third down. They may have actually accepted it.
It looks like they did accept it. I don't know if, I guess they figured.
So 3rd and 23 now after the penalty. Or is it 4? Yeah, 3rd down and 23. We got it right with 11:05 to go here, fourth quarter. And now they're going to pitch it off to the near side as he gets across midfield, fighting along the near sideline. And he's taken down well shy of the first down marker. at around the 46 or so. So that's about a 4-yard pickup, 4th down. Now we'll see the punt team come on, Tim.
Well, we may see them run another play and like their field position, but it's always a difficult thing for the defensive side of the ball and the coach to take that penalty or to allow them to have 2 more plays. You know, the offense hasn't been moving that great for Bennett, so perhaps that was the right call for Ty Parker to push him back with that penalty.
So it looks like
it does look
searching,
like a punt
it does
formation.
appear a punt is coming on a 4th and 14. Tigers to kick it downfield left to right. End over end kick, far side, and it lands at around the 30. Will take a hop and go straight out of bounds at around the 31, and that's where it will be Falcons football, as it'll be a 1st down for them.
Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Howard Hanna, helping us put this broadcast together here at All High Stadium with the score 16-0. 10 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter, and it's been a great game. The 3rd quarter, a little bit sloppy, but overall an intense game, John.
Indeed, it has been 16-0 Bennett with a 2-touchdown edge. So once again, though, the defense did hold as far as for the Maritime and Health Sciences. So they keep it to a 2-possession game, but now you'd imagine you'd start to see even more shotgun looks, because if they're going to try and get back into this, they got to make something happen. It's really got to start now, Tim.
Yeah, and I think this is where play action comes into factor. As a head coach on an offense, you want to be able to create some space, and play action oftentimes does that for an offense.
So for the Falcons, they're going to go with a loaded backfield. Taylor from under center, handoff straight up the middle, fighting his way, and he only picked up a couple at the most on that play. And this will bring up 2nd now. Once again, they try that draw play off left tackle, and again, the Tigers were ready for it.
I don't have an official snap count for Zeke Taylor, but I would say it's probably roughly 7 or so. And you know, the only major play on offense for Maritime Health Sciences since he's been at the helm of quarterback was that broken play in their own end where he was able to scramble for about 15 yards. But right now we need to see more offense for Maritime Health Sciences with time precious left, 9:25 to go.
As Webster, the starting quarterback, again remains on the sideline. Once again, it's going to be a 2nd down here. They're going to go from under center. The snap, they pitch it to the short flat left side across 25. Takes it upfield to the 30. Fights across the 35. Look at him go! And gets all the way up close to the 40 and may have even gotten past it before he's finally taken down at the 41 or 42. How do you like that? He had about a few yards, and then he probably just bulldozed his way past 10, 15 more, Tim. What an individual effort.
Not to mention bulldozing, but who he bulldozed. Rashad Perry was among the tacklers. I'm not saying he got bulldozed, but to be able to move the big men on that Bennett line and churn the legs, that's a great play, and certainly a little bit of a spark there for Maritime Health Sciences.
On a 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Falcons from under center. 1st down, one receiver right, and it's another handoff up the middle. This time not going to fight its way forward for much. He tried to do the same thing, but this time didn't have that success, Tim. Pick up a 2nd down.
Yeah, as great as that play was in terms of just building a little bit of momentum for Maritime Health Sciences, I don't think running the ball up the middle is going to be the answer they need with 8 minutes, 28 seconds left to go in this game.
As this will bring up a 2nd down and 9 with 8:11 to go here in regulation, and it's 16-0 Bennett, our score. It is the Falcons who break the huddle. Although you could see that really this is going to be their first shotgun formation of this drive. They want to be a little bit more careful given what's happened to Taylor in the past couple times. Now they go into the eye, the snap, they fake the give. Taylor rolling right, pressure coming, blitz, and he goes down. A sack for the Tigers. Another big defensive play. As Taylor as he might, tried to get off almost one-armed, but couldn't do it, and the Tigers again bring him down.
And that's Rashad Perry on the stop there, and Perry now on his feet.
Loss of 8 on the play.
Hold on for the health of Rashad Perry, who is now down on the field being looked at.
Oh, that would be big for the Tigers. That's one of their best players.
I was going to say Zeke Taylor did a nice job scrambling back, getting into the deep backfield quickly after he took the snap. But Perry, along with his teammates, brought the pressure, giving him really no daylight at all.
And Perry still down, being tended to by the trainer, coach out there.
And you hope it's just simply a cramp with the weather and the fact that they're still getting acclimated to play.
That's true.
It
And now
looks like it could be a cramp.
The good news is he's back up on his feet. It's Ginger, but he is walking off under his own power. That's good to see, Tim.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there is a little limp. You don't know whether or not that's just the normal wear and tear of his body on this game, but he's made an impact, and certainly someone we want to see healthy, especially for the Bennett Tigers to be able to have a viable chance at making a run in this competitive Double-A, where you've got Lancaster as the defending champs, Clarence with a huge win yesterday, Orchard Park looking real strong, Ben Casella with over 300 yards passing against Jamestown. So a division that's extremely tough, and we'll see how Hutch Tech does this year as well.
As this will be a 3rd down and 17 as Perry was helped to the side, but he did walk off under his own power. He remains on the sideline, though. They're going to go with a shotgun snap. One receiver right, 3 to the left. And now movement along the line. And could we have another false start penalty?
Yeah, and that's going to look like on the right end there for
Sure
Maritime
seems that way.
Sciences. Those are the tough mental mistakes here in the 4th quarter in crunch time.
And they can't afford those down 16, Tim.
Yeah, it's really been a difficult task for Maritime Health Sciences in the second half. The penalties are not helping.
As this will be a 3rd down now and 22. Shotgun snap. Taylor fades. Gonna rocket it deep down the near side. And a diving attempt could not bring it in at the Bennett 35-yard line. Looked like that time he was going for number 5, Amadi Foster. Just couldn't reel it in, Tim. Very nice throw, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Just eluded his grasp. So close.
Yeah, for Zeke Taylor to step up and make a good pass, that was a strong pass. Really hard to put the blame on either quarterback or receiver there. Just a game of inches, and you could see right there, inches away from making that grab.
It will now be 4th down and 22, and at this point, the Falcons have no choice but to punt this ball away. They're very far from a 1st down, and now the clock will continue to run, and they're still trailing by 2 scores. Kick in the air, far side, fielded across the 50. Tigers across the 45, into the territory to the 40, and gets finally wrapped up and taken down at the Falcons' 37-yard line. That was a nice return. He just turned on the afterburners and got into Falcons territory at the 37. Nice return, Tim.
Yeah, you could see that's going to be a potential threat for any team facing Bennett. The punt return and the kickoff return. When you've got guys like Ahmad Bradbury, Dominic Howard, they can put on the Jets, Dominic Allen. That's some major speed on the special teams.
Indeed it is, and that was put on display right there. Clock stopped here with exactly 7 minutes to go in regulation. And Bennett with a 16-0 lead. Things are looking pretty good for the Tigers right now, Tim.
Yeah, we know that both of these teams are tops in their division typically every year. Bennett, over the last 5 seasons, just a strong year in and year out. They've yet to have a losing season over those last 5 years. Or have not had a losing season, I should say.
1st and 10 from 37-yard line. Tigers the snap. Fires it across the middle. Tipped and nearly picked off, but it falls incomplete. That was a little bit of a lucky break for Bennett. It looked like there was a Falcons defender right there. Just couldn't make the interception, Tim.
Yeah, the ball went through the hands of Dominic Allen. Amadi Foster almost there. And that would have been a huge turnover because there's still plenty of time. 6 minutes, 58 seconds to go. The only concern right now, though, has been the Maritime offense and its lack of productivity, especially with their quarterback, Montrese Webster, out.
So the score remains 16-0. This is going to be a 2nd down. Snap. Tigers fading back. Davis here's it out. Far side going for a receiver over his head. That's going to land incomplete. 3rd down. It looked like that time he was going for number 7, Jaden Lewis. Just couldn't connect him, and this is going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, Davis fired that one maybe a little bit early. I don't know if he just felt the pressure, but let that ball loose a little early, and as a result, overthrew his receiver.
So it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 here from the 37-yard line of the Falcons. And Bennett remains up 16-0, 6:56 to go in the 3rd. So Bennett going to break the huddle. This time they're going to go into the I formation. 2 receivers right, single tight end, and 1 left. Snap, handoff up the middle. Running back spins off a couple defenders, but nowhere to go. He is stacked up and brought down hard after a minimal gain, and this will be 4th and long. Good job by the Falcons defense again, just keeping that Bennett offense at bay.
Yeah, you could see the staggering right now. Damian Littleton, who's been really strong today on one of many defensive players for Western New York Maritime Health Sciences. Their defense has really impressed, John. I mean, other than the first drive they gave up, you got to remember their only other score was on special teams. So the defense really solid throughout this entire game. And you could see this is going to be another team that's going to make a serious run as a repeat contender, defender of the Class B title. But I think the key right now is are they just keeping Montrese Webster out of the game to keep his health? Hopefully that is the case.
And they're going for it on the snap. Davis rolling left, far side across the 40, 35, 30. First down yardage across the 25 and scampers out of bounds around the 23 or 24. So they decide to go for it, Tim, and that's going for the kill, and they got it there as that quarterback scrambled. Davis just took off, had a lot of grass, and a big play there.
Yeah, that shows a lot of guts by the quarterback to be able to take it upon himself, put the ball where he needs to get that past that first down marker and move the chains, which could really be almost icing on the cake with precious time left, 5 minutes 52 to go.
So we'll see where they spot it. It looked like he went out close to the 25.
Check that penalty, and that's going to negate that play.
Wow, that would have been the absolute dagger, and instead, now they picked it up, and they do say it's a first down. We've had a couple of these in this game, Tim, just going back and forth.
Well, you know it's week.
But the important thing is to get the call right.
And it's week 1 for the officials, so they're certainly doing a fine job. I know it's been a difficult game to officiate, and that 3rd quarter in particular.
So it is a first down and 10 at the 24-yard line. The snap, they hand off up the middle. Not much room to run, though. Was looking for daylight. Just couldn't find any, and it'll be a pickup of a couple. 2nd down. But you're right. That was a gutsy play call, and it paid off. And now they have it 2nd down and deep in Falcon territory. As the clock continues to move, 5:16 to go in regulation. Bennett up by 16 over the Falcons.
Yeah, and you have to wonder at this point in the game, is it preservation mode for Western New York Maritime Health Sciences in terms of keeping some of their players healthy?
In the eye, Davis, handoff straight up the gut, fighting his way forward, gets down close to about the 20, and this will bring up a 3rd and manageable 4 or 5 for the Tigers.
Third down coming up. Looks to be about a long 5, maybe even 6 to go for the Bennett Tigers.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 6. From the 20-yard line of the Falcons, ball on the left hash. Backs in the eye, 1 receiver either side. Handoff up the middle. Patterson sheds 1 would-be tackler to the near side, but nowhere to run. Then taken down about the 19, only about a yard. And then he was slow to get up, but he is back on his feet.
And that's Braylon Boyd with the tackle.
And it was Jamario Tolliver on the carry.
Another player who's been on this team as a freshman, certainly providing senior leadership for Western New York Maritime. And you got to really just take all your hats off. Anybody at this stadium today will tell you the defense for Western New York Maritime held their own against an extremely powerful Bennett
on
offense.
4th and 5, going for it again, but this time he is met right at the line. He is stood up there, nowhere to go, dragged backwards, and so it's going to be a turnover on downs. It's going to be a 1st down for the Falcons, so they at least keep the Falcons with at least somewhat of a pulse in this game, Tim.
Absolutely. They've got to try to create that big play. You know, we saw the big play at the end of the 2nd quarter, finding the receiver over the middle, and I think you need to find something similar in order to move the chains in a big way here.
And as we certainly know after what we saw last night and in the past, anything can happen in Western New York high school football. So still a lot of time left, 3:46 to go. Regulation, Bennett 16-0, but the Falcons have to at least score on this drive to keep their hopes of winning alive, Tim. You'd think so, certainly.
And it's not clear whether or not the court, so definitely Montrese Webster is hobbling significantly on the sidelines. He's not going to be returning in this final stretch. And you hope the young man will be healthy for week 2 against a tough Canisius team coming up.
He is under his own power, but as Tim mentioned, he is limping right now. Back's in the eye, the snap, the handoff, near side, and not a lot of room, a pickup of 2, maybe 3. It'll be second down here.
And a late block there by number 50, David Wright. You know, the teams are playing to the whistle. You got to give them credit, and it's been a hard-fought game. I think, though, if you're Western New York Maritime Health Sciences, you have to come up with either some kind of air attack or some kind of play action besides your basic run plays right now. They have not had success doing that since Webster's been out of the game, so I don't see that really changing here, especially with 3 minutes to go.
On a second down and 8 with 3 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. 16-0 Bennett is our score. Backs loaded up, one receiver right. Snap, handoff up the middle. Had some running room, but quickly shut the door across the 25. Kept fighting his way forward and picked up a few yards there, but it's going to bring up, depending on where they spot it.
Again, that's Jameer Thomas. Jameer Thomas on that carry. We haven't seen him carry the ball that often today, but when he does, he looks explosive. I'm surprised he's limping a little bit now. I'm surprised they haven't utilized him a little more today in the offensive game. Perhaps, though, they're just still figuring out that backfield. But they do have weapons. Maritime Health Sciences, you could see they're loaded with weapons offensively as well. You got to give Bennett the credit today. Their defense has really held them in check.
On a third down and 5, huge play in this game for the Falcons. They're going to go under center. Backs loaded up in the backfield, one receiver right. The snap, rolling right, looking downfield. He's going to take it himself across the 30. And did he get enough for a first there, Tim? He went out close at around the 32 or 33. It looked like he extended, so maybe he had enough, but it's going to depend on the spot.
Well, it looked like John Hicks and Dominic Howard brought the boom.
And it looks like there's a flag down on the field as well at the far side.
With Bennett with a full steam of defensive prowess right there, I don't think he had enough to get it. We'll see what the flag shows, though.
Okay, and now the referee just picked it up. Looking to see.
Penalty being called against the Falcons.
We know that
It's against the Falcons. So that is a crushing blow.
Yeah, with 1 minute 33 seconds left to go,
they were close. Even if they didn't get it, it was a makeable fourth to keep them alive. Now with this penalty, they're going to have to go for it, but they're looking at a much tougher uphill climb now, Tim, just to get this first.
And, you look at this game on paper, you say, well, they were shut out. But, again, the defense of Bennett really was the standout today. This is an offense that can move the ball, and I'm sure you'll see as the season goes on, Western New York Maritime Health Sciences is going to put up points. But today, not the case against a staunch Bennett defense.
Fourth down, and after the penalty backs them up, ball on the right hash. And so for the Falcons, they're going to go under center. He's got one receiver wide out to the left with 1:10 to play. On this fourth down, the snap. Rolling left. Pressure coming. Wrapped up. Taken all the way back and taken down hard. That is going to be a turnover on downs. And that's going to seal this one, Tim, with 1:02 to go. And so a turnover on downs, and give credit to the Tigers. Their defense pitched a shutout.
Yeah, Jaden Lewis putting the icing on the cake with a huge sack, and that should be curtains for this particular. I don't think this is going to be the end in this series. Hopefully this is a rivalry that can continue. I understand, you're talking a couple class differences, but Western New York Maritime really showing well today, if you ask me. Although they couldn't move the ball as well offensively, they really had a strong game, especially on the defensive side.
So the Tigers now, this one is going to be sealed as we have 30 seconds left. And they're going to punt it away down the near side end over end kick. Now it lands around the 35. Bennett's got it at the 40 of the Falcons, and then he is dragged down and bottled up, thrown backwards, and that will, with 13.6 left, the Tigers are going to get the win 16-0. But one thing we should mention, Tim, you mentioned the heart. You know who else played well? Yes, Bennett's defense did, but so did the Falcons.
Yeah, and I have to think that Howard Hanna play of the game was that interception in the late stages of the second quarter because momentum was still in the balance.
Yeah.
And for Bennett, a team that's compromised of schools with Olmsted, Middle Early College, and East, they're going to start off the season on the right track. We know they had a first game in the spring session against Lancaster was their week 1 opponent, but that was a tough opponent. They were not up against an easy opponent today, and they made the most of a great showing.
And the Tigers kneel it down, and the final seconds are going to bleed off. And the Tigers going to open the season 1-0. Another big play. How about that punt return for the touchdown? It was 8-0, but so the game was definitely still close. But then after that, it seemed to just take a lot of the win out of the sails of the Falcons. And the final seconds tick off, and there's your football game. Your final score here this afternoon from Bennett High School. It was the Tigers 16 and the Western New York Health Sciences Maritime's Falcons, no score. And Tim, just a quick final thought before we sign off here. Player of the game, who really caught your eye in today's game?
You know what? It was really a series of players. A multitude of players for Bennett. I think, in my opinion, I love the fact that Bradbury had that punt return. Like you said, Dominic Allen with the huge interception. Those two, I'd give them co-players of the game. And, of course, the quarterback, Antonio Davis, playing a solid game. Bennett next up for them is Williamsville North, who did not have a great campaign in the spring. So Bennett with a good chance of starting out the season 2-0. They face Clarence week 3, Orchard Park week 4, and they'll be looking at Lancaster week 5. So for Bennett, a great way to start the season, John. How about yourself? Any final thoughts on this great matchup today?
Well, Alan, and again, this really just came down to it was two great defenses. Both teams really played their heart out, but in the end, it just the Tigers, their ground and pound game, just enough to win out over the Falcons. But overall, just a great game, and both teams should be thrilled with how they play. And before we sign off, I just want to thank our great crew here today: Francis Beck, Tom Prince, Tim Gardner, of course, our head honcho executive producer over here, Frank Wolf, and for you, my good friend Tim Morozak, I'm John Karuba. Thank you so much for tuning in here on WNY Athletics. Your final score, 16-0, Bennett over Western New York Health Sciences and Maritime's Falcons. Thank you so much for tuning in to WNY Athletics, proudly presented to you by Howard Hanna.